Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the December 17th meeting of the Gastonia City Council. We're glad to have everyone here. We're glad to have the TV audience here, and especially, certainly this joyful time of the year. At this time, I would like to ask you to bow in prayer, after which we will have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Pray with me, if you will. Our Heavenly Father, thank you. Thank you for this day, this beautiful day. Thank you for this life. Thank you for our loved ones. Thank you for everything that you've done for us and are doing for us. Thank you for our health. Locally, thank you for our city, county, state, and our nation. And we thank you so much for all the gifts that you've given us. In your name we pray, amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I would at this time like to, I would like to have item C, adoption of the agenda. A motion? Second. All right. Discussion. All in favor? Raise your hand. Okay. Item D is approval of the minutes of the regular council meeting, November 19th, 2013. Is there a motion?
Here. So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Thank you. Okay. I would like to, if I could at this time, call on Councilman Walter Kimball under item E, Awards, Ceremonies, and Promotions Committee. The first one, resolution, recognizing citizens who provided life-saving assistance. Mr. Kimball.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, I would like to call up Chief Watts from our fire department. And also, I'd like to call up those that so selfishly risk their lives to pull Mr. John Maddox out of a vehicular fire that could have very easily taken their lives. So at this time, I'd like to call up Mr. Matt Hudson, Michael Ewing, Steve Hardy, and Eric Crane. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us. We have a synopsis of their heroic events on that day of November 19th. However, they say a picture many times is worth 1,000 words, and I'm not sure how many words it is when we have folks here that were actually there. So I'd like to take this opportunity, number one, to also call up Mr. John Maddox and his wife Janet, if you'd like to come. I believe she's also a city employee. And I'd like to turn the podium over to Chief Watts. Chief, I know that you had rolled up while I believe the vehicle was fully involved, and you were actually able to witness the heroic actions of these gentlemen and the wonderful outcome that we had, and how their actions epitomize the heroes that we have in the city of Gastonia. Chief Watts.
Thank you, Councilman Kimball. Ladies and gentlemen, I normally don't like to read things, just read them, but I don't want to miss anything, so I'm going to, if you'll indulge me, I'm going to just read this memo that I sent to Chief Welch shortly after this incident occurred. On November 19th, 2013, at approximately 6:30, a vehicle accident occurred on Kendrick Road near the intersection of Royal Oaks Lane. A small pickup truck driven by John Maddox left the roadway, came to rest on its side on the shoulder, and caught fire. Mr. Maddox was not able to exit the vehicle on his own. Shortly after the incident occurred, the citizens listed below drove up on the scene and stopped to assist. Matt Hudson of 3707 Beatty Road in Gastonia, Michael Ewing of 4305 Knightwood Drive of Gastonia, Steve Hardy, 3425 Araglin Drive, Gastonia, and Eric Crane of 3859 Yellow Jasmine Drive in Gastonia. Mr. Hardy was unable to be with us this evening. These men first used a small dry powder extinguisher retrieved from Mr. Ewing's vehicle in an attempt to extinguish the fire that was burning on the undercarriage of Mr. Maddox's vehicle. They were successful in partially extinguishing the fire. However, after they had fully discharged the extinguisher, there was still a small amount of fire remaining. This is about the time that I arrived on the scene in my personal vehicle. The men initially intended to wait for the fire and emergency medical units to arrive and allow them to move Mr. Maddox. This was in an effort to prevent further injury to Mr. Maddox. This soon proved to be impossible due to the fact that the fire began to grow. Deciding to take action, the men realized the position of the vehicle on its side would not allow them to bring Mr. Maddox out the doors. Mr. Hudson and Mr. Crane were able to gain access to Mr. Maddox through the rear window of the pickup truck. Assisted by Mr. Hardy and Mr. Ewing, they pulled Mr. Maddox out of the vehicle and carried him up to the road. Less than 30 seconds later, and this is not an exaggeration, I was actually there, the entire passenger compartment of Mr. Maddox's vehicle was engulfed in flames. The events described above happened very quickly. Approximately 3 minutes elapsed from the time these men stopped at the scene until Mr. Maddox was out of his vehicle and up on the road. I have no doubt that if this group of citizens had not stopped and taken the actions they took, the outcome of this would have been very different. I can truthfully say that these were the most heroic actions taken by a group of citizens at any incident I have been involved in during my fire service career. These actions were taken by these men with no regard for their personal well-being. The success of this rescue were dependent on each action that was taken. I would like to recommend that we thank these men publicly for their heroism. And I would be remiss if I didn't add that there was a couple of more citizens that did stop that evening. One that I remember was a registered nurse, a young lady, and she stopped to assist, and there may have been a couple more that I wasn't able to get their names. If you're listening to this and you hear it, please know that we thank you also. It's actions like this, gentlemen, that make me proud to be a citizen and work in Gastonia and Gaston County. You're to be commended, and the fire department appreciates it. Thank you.
Mr. Maddox, I would like to give you the opportunity, if you have anything you'd like to say. I know that you've had really the opportunity to speak with these fellows, since the incident, and I know, from my experience, that many times that it's very tumultuous, and sometimes thank yous, although they're meant, they fall by the wayside sometimes in emergency operations. So please, would you like to, ma'am, if you'd like to go.
Well, first,
Around this way, guys.
oh yes, definitely.
Thank you.
First, I would like to say to these guys here, thank you for saving my life, because that's exactly what they did when you look at all the evidence of what happened that night. If it wouldn't have been for them, I would not be standing here now. I used to always have this little thing I used to say when I meet people, where they say, how you doing today? How you doing today? I used to always tell them, I said, well, as long as I drive by the cemetery and don't see my tombstone over there, I'm having a good day. Well, I'm here to tell you that on November the 19th, I almost had the worst day of my life, a terrible day. If it wasn't for these gentlemen here. Like the chief, I believe that my words would be inadequate to explain what's in my heart and mind right now for these guys here. So I would like to just read something that I wrote for them. And this is to each one of them. It says, some call you a hero. You like to call yourself another good Samaritan. As far as for me, you are not only my hero and good Samaritan, but on November the 19th, 2013, you became my guardian angel. They say God looks out for young children and fools. There is no doubt in anyone's mind that upon reflection on my truck accident on Kendrick Road, God had commanded Jesus to cast out his fishing net and harvest the souls of fools, and I was captured in that holy net. However, I was fortunate to have 4 angels to champion for me. God knows that it was only through Jesus' enthusiasm for the strong advocacy of my guardian angels to rescue me from the accident and encompassing fire, along with their unwavering commitment to save my life. God the Father commanded Jesus to remove me from the net of death and replace me back into the ocean of life, with a personal mandate for me to strive to be the best child of Christ that I can be. I would like to finish by saying, during this time of season, one of my shows that I love to watch all the time is A Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart. And in that, everybody sure knows the plot, that he's saved by an angel trying to get his wings. So I'm here to say, and the way that they could determine that the angel's got his wings was there would be a bell rung to say that the angel has got his wings. So I'm here to say that today I'm going to ring a bell for my angels because they received their wings. So for Matt Hudson, Michael Ewing, Eric Crane, and Steve Hardy, I want to say thank you for saving my life.
Mrs. Maddox, would you like to say? Please.
I didn't prepare a speech because I felt like this was his time. But for my family, we truly, truly thank you all. I told them the accident happened on Tuesday, and I celebrated my birthday on Friday, and then Thanksgiving and holidays. So it was the perfect gift for me. Thank you.
Would your son like to say anything? Phyllis, do you have any comments?
Can I add something, Mr. Kimmel?
Sure.
The thing that struck me about these gentlemen is when I did call them to tell them we wanted to recognize them, the comments that I've got was, I haven't done anything. That's what impresses me so much about this community and the people that live in this community, because that's a common attitude in our community, and I appreciated that. Thank you, Mr. Kimmel.
Thank you, Chief. Fellas, we have both proclamations and certificates of appreciation for what you did. And I know that everyone on the council and Mayor Bridgman who signed these knows that a mere piece of paper really fails to tell the story of what you all did for somebody that you didn't know. And that there's no greater honor to be given to someone that when you can save a life of your fellow man. And when you have a fire professional that says, straight up, if it wasn't for you guys being there, you know, things would have been a lot worse for Mr. Maddox. And I guess you could maybe say that you got your Christmas present a little bit early this year. I think you did. So I'll read the proclamations that are signed by the mayor for each of you. And again, it's only a small token of what this city feels in its heart for what you all did. Whereas on November 19, 2013, Mr. John Maddox lost control of his vehicle while driving on Kendrick Road near the intersection with Royal Oaks Lane and overturned, coming to rest on its side. Whereas as a result of the accident, Mr. Maddox was unable to extricate himself from the vehicle, and subsequently the vehicle caught fire. Mr. Matt Hudson, Mr. Michael Ewing, Mr. Eric Crane, and Mr. Steve Hardy came upon the crash. They exited their vehicles and determined how they could provide assistance. Whereas Mr. Hardy, along with other citizens that stopped to provide the assistance, along with the other gentlemen, used a small dry chemical fire extinguisher retrieved from another citizen's car in an attempt to extinguish the flames. And whereas Mr. Hardy, Mr. Hudson, Mr. Ewing, and Mr. Crane realized that the fire extinguisher would not be sufficient to completely extinguish the fire, and disregarding personal danger to themselves, assisted other citizens while removing Mr. Maddox from the vehicle by pulling him through the rear window just before the passenger compartment of the vehicle was fully involved in flames. Now therefore, the mayor and the city council of the city of Gastonia do hereby recognize and commend Mr. Steve Hardy, Mr. Matt Hudson, Mr. Michael Ewing, and Mr. Eric Crane, and present them with the Citizens Award for selfless actions in assistance to Mr. Maddox at great risk to their own personal safety. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my seal and cause the official seal of the City of Gastonia to be affixed to the 17th day of December, 2013. The Honorable Mayor, John D. Bridgman, and Virginia L. Crichton, City Clerk. Phyllis. Matt? Michael? Thank you, sir. Steve? Eric? And Jenny, can we make sure that we have, possibly have Assistant Chief here? Chief, would it be possible that you could maybe send someone over to Mr. Hart's house along with a member of the fire department to deliver this, please? Chief, thank you. Gentlemen, again, here, thanks, and something like that. Shake the hand of all the people in the city council, please. And you as well. Thank you, Phil. Merry Christmas. Chief.
Mayor, I'll make the motion.
Thank you so much.
We
Merry
approve the
Christmas.
proclamation as read.
Second.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Congratulations, great job.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah. Thanks for doing something simple, but something real good. Thanks for being there. Hey, John, how you doing? Son of a gun, man. 9 lives like a cat. So, hey, how are you? Hey, Janet, how are you?
It
Good
is.
to see you.
It is.
So,
Our second proclamation, Councilman Gallagher is going to join me in a moment, is for, everybody calls him Bill, Dr. Bill Current, Sr. And I'd like you to come up, please, Dr. Current.
Ask his wife, Liz, to join.
Ma'am?
Liz?
Welcome, Doctor. Yeah. Tonight we have a proclamation for you, Dr. Current. It goes through a little bit of your life and your career. Certainly doesn't touch on all the high points. This is just a brief synopsis, very brief when you consider life's been condensed onto kind of one page. But I'm going to read the proclamation, and then, Jim, if you have anything else you'd like to say, and then I turn the mic over to you, sir. Whereas Dr. William Bill A. Current Sr. was born in Gaston County and graduated from Gastonia High School before attending North Carolina State University and the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill to earn his Bachelor of Science degree and Doctorate of Dental Surgery degrees. And after completing dental school and a tour in the United States Navy Dental Corps, Dr. Current returned to Gastonia and began practicing dentistry. Whereas throughout his career, Dr. Current has been an active community leader and a leader in his profession, serving as president of many organizations, including the Gaston County Dental Society, the First District Dental Society of North Carolina, North Carolina Dental Society, UNC Dental Alumni Association, the North Carolina Dental Foundation, and the Gaston Family Health Services. Additionally, Dr. Current served as the chairperson of the North Carolina Dental Society Ethics Committee and the Gaston County Board of Health for 2 terms. He was then appointed by Governor Jim Martin to the Psychiatric and Substance Abuse Committee of the North Carolina State Health Coordination Council. And whereas Dr. Current is a past president of the Gastonia Rotary Club, a former member of the Jaycees and the Chamber of Commerce, and has served the community by participating in various boards and committees. And whereas in 2004, Dr. Current was elected to the North Carolina House of Representatives, serving for 4 terms. And during his tenure as representative, he served in leadership roles on numerous committees. He chaired the Health and Human Services Committee and served on the Public Health Study Commission. He was an early advocate for fluoridating municipal water in the city of Gastonia and helped to create the Gaston County Public Health Dental Clinic and Dr. Current has been a strong advocate for North Carolina's smoke-free bar and restaurant law. And whereas Dr. Current has received numerous awards and honors, including North Carolina Dental Society Citizenship Award, the Gaston County Commissioner William Gaston Award, International College of Dentistry Fellow, American College of Dentistry Fellow, Paul Harris Fellow, the Gaston County Chamber of Commerce Spirit of Economy Award, and recently, Legislator of the Year 2013 Award by the North Carolina Association of Local Health Directors. And whereas Dr. Current has also been active in the church by serving on many other boards and committees, and he is married to Elizabeth Ogden Current, and they have 4 children, 9 grandchildren, and another grandchild to be born, and we're getting down to the wire here, in 2014. Now therefore, I, John D. Bridgman, as mayor of the City of Gastonia and the City Council of the City of Gastonia, congratulate Dr. William A. Current Sr. for his accomplishments and thank him for his many years of service and his significant contributions to the citizens of Gastonia, Gaston County, and all of North Carolina. In witness whereof I hereunto have set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Gastonia to be affixed the 17th day of December in the year of our Lord, 2013, by John D. Bridgman, Mayor, and Virginia L. Crichton, City Clerk. Jim?
Bill Current, your office was on, is on New Hope Road over by Pizza Hut over that way. And it's been there for many a year, and I just want to say you're one heck of a dentist. And you're one of the first ones who started up the Gaston County Republicans. And that's one thing we didn't mention here. And I just want to say thank you very much, sir, for doing that and for your service here in our town and to the state, because you are a representative, and it's a pleasure and an honor to know you, sir.
Thank you.
Dr. Current? Mrs. Current?
I can truly confess that I had real reservations about this. I don't know from whence it came, and I feel like I should be up here trying to figure out a way to present to you on behalf of my family just how great this community has been to us. After this heroism award, I truly feel somewhat humbled. But let me just say briefly, if I could, this is somewhat a sacred ground to me, and I'll touch on that in a minute, but I think I'd be remiss if I did not think of all those who in my lifetime gave service to this community. And they all came back about the time I was an adolescent young man, and I watched the contributions they made. So I accept this in their and all the other people that have made such great contributions to our city. Also would like to say this ground is, as I started to say, a little bit hallowed to me, because this close by was the Armington Hotel and the train station, and my beautiful mother was passing through here on the way to New York to get some wedding clothes to marry a gentleman from Atlanta. My father, who had been brought here by Mr. C.K. Bryant, they were first cousin and farm boys up in Iredell County, came from very poor circumstances. But cousin Charlie Bryant convinced my dad to come to this viable town, and he had started an electric business here, which most of you are familiar with. But anyway, I owe a lot to the Southern Railway and to Mr. Bryant, of course. But even more than that, my beautiful mother, she picked this young lady who's standing with me out when I brought her home, invited her to come back, and she said, well, Bill's not going to be here. And she said, I don't care. I want you to come see me. She's given me 4 wonderful children, as pointed out, and we have great grandchildren. And I did want to mention all those guys like Chick and Rush Smith, my next-door neighbors who shot down Japanese Zeros quicker than they could build them over in Japan, and the 4 guys who live just a block from me, Bobby Gallagher, Fred Spurrier, Arthur Fuller, Alan Sims. All those boys didn't come back, and there are many others. And we owe so much to them. But anyway, thank you so very much. I truly don't feel deserving of this, but it's nice to be around and hear your obituary touched on and be alive. Thank you very much, and I appreciate it more than I can say.
Thank you, sir.
Here's your
Can I say something?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ms. Craig.
I would like to say something
Me too.
to, Bill has been a role model to a lot of the younger generation, and without some of his leadership in showing some of us younger folks how to do it, I just appreciate everything you've done to help grow Gastonia in its leadership positions, and I don't think you're retired, but because I don't think you'll ever retire. Okay, stay busy, stay active, and stay involved in our community.
Thank you for what you do. Hold on. Thank you so much.
Hey, dear. Thank you. You doing good? Good to see you.
Bill, good to see you. Have a Merry Christmas.
Just right.
Oh, that's all right. Again. I know, it's wonderful. Yeah. See y'all.
Mr. Representative. Mr. Representative. I wanted to say to you in closing that I know you and I go way back, and I know you very well. We're friends, and I know you're big-headed. I know your head is big right now. I want you and I, remember this, are poster boys. Always will be, for that old saying, behind every good man is a good woman. And you've made that extremely clear. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the proclamation as read.
Second.
All right, there is a motion and a second. Discussion, all in favor? Okay. Little pitch stuff. Okay.
Jeff, ready?
All righty. I have been asked, for the sake of time, if I may, very quickly, is under the presentations of item F is to go to number 5. Chief Helton of the Gastonia Police Department. It's an introduction of new Central District leadership, Captain Rodney Aldridge and Sergeant Nancy Capistrand, and they have to go work quick down the street. So I'd like to go ahead and call on Rob.
Mayor, Council, good evening. And if I could have this opportunity before we begin just to say Merry Christmas, and I hope all of you have a safe holiday season. It's my honor and privilege tonight to recognize our new leadership in the Central District, and also 2 of our most newly promoted supervisors. I'll begin with Sergeant Nancy Capistrand, if she can step up. Sergeant Capistrand began with our department in 2005. She's worked in the Patrol Division in criminal investigations and has served on a number of task forces and special assignments, including the hostage negotiations team and also the mobile field force. She earned a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Chicago and was also awarded her master's degree in business administration from Pfeiffer University. She is currently assigned as the community coordinator sergeant in the Central District, which encompasses the downtown business district. And this is a very busy assignment. It's a small geographical area in town, but this assignment is a very busy one with all the events that happen downtown, so we'd like to recognize her tonight.
I apologize. I'm not a huge public speaker. They're making me talk. They've been picking on me all night. I'm very humbled and very excited to get to know you guys and get to shake hands and work with you especially. I'm just excited. I can't feel those shoes behind me, and the captains and sergeants have been in my position, so I'm very humbled and ready to work. So thank you.
Next, I'd like to recognize Captain Rodney Aldridge. He began with our department in the year 2000. He's worked in the Patrol Division and also in criminal investigations and has served on several task forces and special assignments, most recently serving over the Street Crimes Unit. He's the commander of our hostage negotiations team. He's also a graduate of Gardner-Webb University, where he graduated with a degree in psychology. He is currently assigned as the Central District Commander, which oversees the Downtown Business District. He coordinates and oversees all the special events and programs downtown as a part of his assignment. So at this time, I'd like to also recognize Captain Rodney Aldridge.
Once again, I know a good number of you, and we've got to work together, and it has been very humbling to me because everybody that I see are great people, and the people that I work with in the Central District are all very humbling to me in the fact of how good of people they are. I'm honored to get to do what I do. I'm very blessed to work with the people that I get to work with, and I look forward to continuing on in the future, and I'm very thankful. Thank you.
I've had the opportunity to work with both of these supervisors over the past years, and certainly they have my full support, and I know they're going to do a great job. And we're going to have a promotional ceremony Friday to recognize both of them and also our new hires. It's going to be Friday at 3 p.m. at the police department. So if any of you are able and can come by, certainly come by and join us for that. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Rodney, there's just something, when I look at you, there's something about you I like. I can't figure out what it is.
We have a little in common.
Yeah, that's all right. Okay, the next presentation, Campbell, is Jeffrey and Mary McNeil, owners of Piedmont Safety Workwear. They here? Okay.
Your Honor.
Yes.
They had, Mayor Pro Tem Craig and I had met them at a chamber function, a couple weeks ago, and they expressed interest in coming before our elected body to just say thank you for us taking a chance on them with the Ideal Grant Program. And what struck me was the fact that they recounted that it changed their lives. And I'll tell you why. Because they had been back and forth about starting the business. And Jeff recounted to me, he said that by us hearing the business plan and going ahead and kind of putting our stamp of approval on it, gave them the impetus to move forward with their business. And in fact, they've opened a second business in Rock Hill as well. So they're very appreciative to our council. And when someone says, you know, we don't know how to thank you all, you changed our lives. And I think that's a great earmark for our Ideal program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Number 2 under the presentations is Aaron Welch, Program Coordinator of the Community Foundation of Gaston County. And the request for in-kind services is Run for the Money April 12th. Who's keeping that beautiful baby tonight?
Ms. Shaw, Ash's wife.
Okay, all right.
Mayor Bridgman and members of City Council, it is a pleasure to come before you tonight, and I am here tonight with Ernest Sumner, the Executive Director of the Community Foundation, to thank you for your past support of the Community Foundation's Run for the Money. In the past 11 years, the event has provided over $12 million to Gaston County nonprofits, with over $2 million coming from the Community Foundation. The run has been a very successful project of the Community Foundation, but even more so for those organizations that it has supported and for our community as a whole. It takes a tremendous amount of time to stage an event like this. We rely on hundreds of volunteers and many sponsors. The City of Gastonia has been a champion sponsor since the inception of the run. Due to the overwhelming success, the Community Foundation is planning Run for the Money 12 for April 12, 2014. On behalf of the Community Foundation of Gaston County, I am here to ask for the city's in-kind sponsorship of Run for the Money 12. I met with city staff earlier this month to go over specific requests and turned in required permits and fees. The Rotary Pavilion here in downtown Gastonia will be the anchor for the event. The run route will begin and end downtown and wind through the Yorkchester neighborhood. So I will at this time be happy to answer any questions you have about our requests and this event. And again, thank you for your overwhelming support in the past, and we hope we can count on your support again for this event in 2014.
Any questions of Aaron?
I would make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Yes. You have a question? Well, we all know how wonderful Run for the Money is. Okay, all in favor? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mhm. Okay. Next under presentations, Ms. Amanda Fuller, Gaston Youth Connected Program Support Specialist.
Hi, I'm excited to be here tonight, and I will try to keep this as brief as possible. But my name is Amanda Fuller, and I work with the Gaston Youth Connected program. We are a community-wide initiative to reduce teen pregnancy in Gaston County, and several of you might have heard of us before, hopefully. But we are funded by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention through APP-CNC, which is the Adolescent Pregnancy Prevention Campaign of North Carolina. And this is a total investment of $5.8 million over 5 years. We started in October of 2010 and will end in September of 2015. We're now in year 4, and we were just one of 9 communities across the nation who received this funding, so we're very proud of that. Our goal was to reduce Gaston County's teen pregnancy rate by at least 10% by September 2015, and to develop infrastructures that support evidence-based pregnancy prevention strategies. Some of those things were to build community capacity and leadership, to implement evidence-based programs with fidelity, to link teens to quality health care, to educate healthcare providers about best practices in adolescent care, and the sustainability of programs like this after the funding leaves in 2015. The good news is that Gaston County's teen pregnancy rate dropped 13% in 2012. And since the start of the Gaston Youth Connected project in 2010, the teen pregnancy rate has dropped 28%. So we have already achieved our first goal of reducing teen pregnancy, and we still have a lot of work left to do. The good news is that teen pregnancy rates are declining in North Carolina as a state. The better news is that in Gaston County, teen pregnancy rates are declining much faster. We are currently ranked number 48 in statewide teen pregnancies. That means in the 100 North Carolina county, 1 being the most teen pregnancies, 100 being the least teen pregnancies, we're number 48, so we're making progress there too. You'll see a map. This is a map of teen pregnancy births, of teen births from 2007 to 2011, just to kind of show you the hot spots where we are seeing the most teen births. The red are our very high teen birth areas, and that's where we're trying to focus a lot of our efforts on. There were 273 teen pregnancies in 2012. 77 of them to ages 15 to 17, and 196, or 72%, were to older teens, not minors, but to older teens ages 18 and 19. So that just shows us that we need to really focus our outreach on those older teens in the next 2 years. It's also interesting that out of the 273 teen pregnancies, 182 were to Caucasian youth, so that also shows us that we need to step up our outreach to reach Caucasian youth. The great news that we have to share, that we are making headlines across the nation, is that we have eliminated the disparity between African American and Caucasian teen pregnancy rates, which means that in Gaston County, if you're African American, you're no longer more likely to be pregnant than a Caucasian. And only 4 other North Carolina counties have lower African American teen pregnancy rates, and we are very proud of that accomplishment and very proud of how fast teen pregnancy rates are dropping for all populations. Part of the Gaston Youth Connected initiative is health care, and we know how important health care is. I encourage you, if you have not been out to the Teen Wellness Center on Hudson, that you stop by there for a visit. They are providing high-quality, teen-friendly health care. They are trained in the best practices of health care. They take walk-in appointments. They have later hours. They have teen health advocates that work directly with our youth. And it's free or low cost for teens. So we are doing really great things in this community, not just with the Department of Health and Human Services, but Gaston Youth Connected has many community partners, including Ashley Women's Center, Gaston Family Health Services, and Courtview OBGYN, that are helping us provide high-quality, teen-friendly health care for our youth. Gaston Youth Connected also understands that teen pregnancy and cost matter. In 2012, the cost associated with teen births was half of what it was in 2008. So using a complicated formula that I can't tell you right here, and based on 2008 dollars, we are talking about a difference from $10 million in 2008 to a cost of $5 million in 2012. So the drop in teen pregnancy is saving us all a lot of money. And we know that taxpayers save about $4 for every $1 that they invest in youth. We have had 1,377 youth participate in our Gaston Youth Connected programs. The average age is 14 and a half. 79% of them come from high-risk areas. So if you'll recall, those red areas on the map where the most teen births are happening. 53% of our program participants were male, and 44% of them had already had sex before entering our programs. So they needed a lot of the information and resources we were able to provide. And if we give these participants a pre-survey and a post-survey upon being in one of our programs, and if we converted that to a 10-point scale, we would know that they increased their knowledge of abstinence, they increased their knowledge about birth control, and they increased their knowledge of where to go and get health care if they needed it. So participants in Gaston Youth Connected programs are significantly increasing their knowledge of how to not become a teen parent. We also did a survey. I don't know if y'all have heard of this, but I can give you all the results in email. But we did a survey of parents back in 2011. We contracted an independent research firm just to we wanted to find out what parents thought before we started our programming. And 95% of Gaston County parents agreed with the statement that teaching teenagers about sexual health will help them become healthy adults. 91% of Gaston County parents would support their own child participating in school-based sexuality education, and 9 in 10 Gaston County parents support the work of support the strategies that GYC is using. We also did a community survey in 2001, a door-to-door survey, where we worked with the North Carolina Institute of Public Health, and we wanted to find out what the community thought about teen pregnancy in Gaston County. And 95% of Gaston County residents think that the community need to do more to prevent adolescent pregnancy. 86% of Gaston County residents think teens should be able to talk to a doctor about pregnancy prevention and to access birth control if needed. And 9.3% of Gaston County residents think teens should only get information on abstinence. The other 90% think that teens should get information on abstinence and medically accurate ways to prevent pregnancy. We have engaged a lot of the community. We have 8 program partners providing programming. We've had 32 different locations host our programs for youth. We've had 37 organizations host presentations for parents. We've had 5 partners in providing teen-friendly health care. We've had 22 companies help us raise awareness during May's Teen Pregnancy Prevention Month. We've had 11 churches involved in hosting programs and presentations. And we've trained 34 young people in our Teen Action Council that have reached out to 550 youth about teen pregnancy prevention in our county. And I am here because we also want to engage you. We are trying really hard this year to reach out to the leaders in our community to raise awareness of what we're doing and to get your support and to have you help us connect to other teens in the county and in the city of Gastonia, to connect us to other organizations so we can make presentations about our work or presentations about the state of teen pregnancy in Gastonia and in Gaston County. Help link us to parents so we can help teach parents how to make good health care referrals to their teens, and to reach out to teens so they can know what their rights are and how they can go get help, or how they can participate in one of our programs and learn how to not become a teen parent. And I've passed out my card, and I've passed out a copy of my presentation from tonight and some other resources. So I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them. If you want more details about the parent survey that we did or the community survey that we did, I will be happy to email those to you. But we just wanted to say that we are very proud of all the hard work and dedication that many organizations in this county are doing to reduce teen pregnancy and improve the health of teens in our county. And I have to give Mr. Curlin a shout out. His daughter is part of the Gaston Youth Connected initiative, and she is amazing, and she is really changing lives of youth in our county.
Thank you.
That's all.
Any questions of my man? Comments?
All right. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. We have the information. Thank you. Item 4F is Christy Chris, Key Accounts Manager, reference recognition of Daimler Trucks North American receiving Energy Efficiency Award through Electric Cities. Christy?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'm going to go ahead and ask Mike Mazingo with Electricities to join me up here as well. Over the past 4 years, the City of Gastonia has had a great partnership with Electricities in being able to offer incentives to our customers for energy efficiency. This has been a great program. It's given us opportunity for our agency to comply with state renewable energy requirements, but by doing that, invest in our customers here. So I think that it's been a very successful program. Over the last few years, we've been able to give out many of these awards, and these projects vary in size from large projects that we're awarding tonight to small ones in the amounts of $1,000 or $2,000. So we've really benefited in this program for Gastonia. These projects are awarded based on merit and also an evaluation of their efficiency and cost per kilowatt hour. So they actually go through a pretty rigorous evaluation standard in order to be selected. And so we're very fortunate and pleased tonight to offer our largest award to date to Daimler Trucks in the amount of $108,000 for significant upgrades to their HVAC control systems that's helping to reduce the overall electric expenditures in our plant here in Gastonia. So with that said, I'm going to ask Bobby Pearson with Daimler to join us. And we'll do the big check presentation. These are always fun. And he does have the real one too that actually can go to the bank. Mike, I didn't know if you...
Well, I'd like to commend Daimler and the group there. They've worked very hard over the last several years to improve the electric efficiency of the plant. As you may know, they are now running 24/7 practically, so these energy efficiency projects are going to really help them down the road. And the nice thing about, I know Paul's looking at, well, we're losing revenue, but having a plant go back to full capacity and strengthen their presence here in the town, looking forward, looking long range down the road, I think this is going to be a big boon to the city. And also commend Christy and Paul and your finance department in making all this happen. Christy's been very proactive in finding projects, large and small. I know we have a project going on now at a Subway shop that's the guy's replacing his old fluorescent lights with an LED light, and we're going to be helping for that. It's going to be a couple $100, but they're taking the initiative to be more efficient, and that's going to help you in the long run from an electrical cost as well. So congratulations to you and the city.
Thank you.
I'd just like to say on behalf of Daimler Trucks that thanks to Mike, but also a special thanks to Christy and Paul and the City of Gastonia, not only for supporting us in our energy efficient programs, but just in your basic support that you provided us through all the years of ups and downs when we're Freightliner, and the project that we just completed off Fairview Drive with the new 310,000 square foot facility over there. It means a lot to us to have a partnership with a great community and great city such as Gastonia. So again, on behalf of Daimler Trucks, I'd just like to say thank you, and I look forward to us doing this many more years down the road. So thank you.
I promise you that this community is very, very proud to have y'all here, and happy to have you here too.
We're proud to be here.
For
Thank you.
a long time. Thank you. Thank you, Christy.